What's going on YouTube? Alan again with DustyHikers.com, and recently I wrote a blog post titled 12 things that you can do that are not hiking this weekend. In the US, this is Memorial Day weekend. My family and I are planning to go to the beach, which is not on my list, but if you want to go check that list out, go to Google and type in 12 things I can do this weekend that are not hiking, and then Dusty Hikers, and you'll find my blog post. Okay, so I'm going to share 6 of those things today. And I'm sharing this information with you with a horde of mosquitoes. I mean, I have at least 35 mosquitoes around my face. I don't know if you can see that. I'm here in South Texas on a trail near my home in these mesquite trees, and there's cactus. And today there are a cajillion mosquitoes. Okay, so just one quick thing about this list. I tried to think of activities that I've done that are similar to hiking, and that you're outdoors, you're having fun, you might even be camping, but you're not actually hiking. So you're not actually walking from point A to point B for the purpose of hiking and backpacking. Okay, number 1 is kind of cheating. It's car camping. So car camping can be what my wife and I call car camping, is where we just load everything into the car, and all of our gear and tents and all of that stuff. And we just go to a campground, and there might be some water feature nearby, like a river or a lake. And we just pitch our tent, and we have our big, huge, Coleman 2-burner camp stove, and we bring a bunch of food, and we don't have to think about planning perfectly because we can just pile everything into the car. I think this is a great way to experience camping outdoors in the wilderness with people that maybe you wouldn't typically go hiking with, right? So could be older members of your family or friends that aren't really into hiking that are into camping. So this is something that you could do this weekend that doesn't require lots of forethought, because again, with a car, you can just pile everything in and go, right? It's hard to forget stuff when you just bring everything. Okay, number 2, bike packing. There's a guy over there with a tractor in his horse field. Hopefully it's not too loud. Anyway, okay, number 2, bike packing. Bike packing has become really popular recently, and I think it's a great way for hikers or non-hikers to go and get out in the woods and not be specifically hiking. I went on a 100-day weekend bike pack when I was at the University of Oregon as a graduate student. I don't know, it was like 20 or 30 years ago, and it was a blast. I mean, with a bike, you're able to go way further in a weekend than you could if you were just hiking, at least for me anyway. And so it could be a really fun way to get outdoors, go on a trail or some roads out in the woods, and travel some serious distance in a weekend without really killing yourself, right? One thing I would say about bike packing, or just biking, mountain biking in general, is check the elevation gain, especially if you've got a lot of stuff on your bikes, because at a certain point you might want to just get out and push. And if your bike's really overloaded, you're going to find yourself pushing more than pedaling. Of course, when you do get to the top and it's all downhill, it's wonderful, as long as you don't crash. Okay, number 3. Now I think I have about 50 mosquitoes on me. Number 3 is what I call canyoning or canyoneering, and there's kind of different ways you can do this. So one way you can do this is to go with a guide and get a bunch of gear and helmets and climbing harnesses and rappel off of waterfalls and do all that sort of stuff. And I think that could be fun too. I did that in Sicily once. But what you can also do is just go find a river that's not huge, right? We have tons of them here in Texas. And you can just just go down the river, just hike down the river or hike up the river. The Guadalupe, you can do this on in many parts. And it's just a fun way to get out and go do something outdoors that's not specifically hiking. You probably won't be carrying any camping equipment with you, but if it's really hot, this is a great way to get the kids outside and go have fun in the wilderness. And it's an alternative to hiking. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is a lot of fun for kids. It's a wilderness ropes course. So these are all over the place. I've been on ropes courses all over the world, literally. I did this in Australia, Italy, I think I did it in Switzerland, and I've done it all over the US. Basically, places that are up in the mountains or near ski resorts or things like that, they'll have these ropes courses that are pretty high, and they rent you the harness, and you kind of like climb up, hook in, and then you're able to go through this course that's up in the canopy of the trees. It's a blast, and kids love this. The other thing, great thing about most ropes courses is they'll have different levels for different size people. So for little kids, big kids, adults, whatever. They'll have more challenging courses, less challenging courses. Oh my gosh, there's like, I think I have 60. I hope you can't see them on the lens, but it just rained like two minutes ago. There we got one. Sorry guys. And so anyway, a ropes course is a great thing to do. You can go do it for just a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, and then you're done. You don't have to do the whole hiking, camping, and all of that. All right. One more, again, if you go to Google and type in 12 things to do that are not hiking, 12 things to do this weekend that are not hiking, and then Dusty Hikers, you can go to my blog and check out the other 7 things that are on my blog that you could do this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, that are not hiking. Again, we're going to the beach. That's not on my list, but there's some great ideas on there for things that you can do to go get outdoors and experience the outdoors. I think I just swallowed one. Okay, number five. Okay, number 5. Of all of the things on my list, the guy with the tractor, I think you can hear that, can't you? I can hear it. Anyway, of all of these on my list, this is the most fun. And I have done this all over the place too. I don't know if I've done this in Italy or Australia, but I've done it all over the US. Anyway, that's just floating down a river. So you can either go and buy some relatively cheap inner tubes at like whatever sports store you go to, or in some places they'll have, they're all set up for this, right? In Texas, in San Antonio, there's a couple places that we go where you go, you rent the tubes, and they take you on a van to somewhere up above, upstream, and then you just float for a couple hours on a stream, and it's really, really fun. And then you get back to a certain spot and your car's there, and you give them the inner tube back and you're ready to go. We've done this in upstate New York. I've done it in Oregon, just with friends, in Washington State, and here in Texas. It's an awesome activity. If you want to be outside, you want to go from point A to point B, and you don't want to sweat. In fact, you're just laying on an inner tube in the river. It's a blast. All right, those are my 5 activities to do this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, that are not hiking and yet get you outside and get you enjoying the outdoors with your family. As always, please hit the like button if you found this video interesting or useful. YouTube will send this video out to more people who, like you, are stuck this weekend. They have no idea what they want to do, but they don't want to go hiking. I'm sure there's millions of people like that in the US. So do your part and hit the like button to send this video out. I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.